Okay, next, sir. Name and question, please.
Gerard Ponce, and my question is on the Supreme Court justices. I think it's important that there be term limits on those guys. And I would just like to know, do y'all have an idea like how many years those term limits would be set for?
Well, my basic idea is 8 years. And for one term and no going back. You do want to preserve the independence of the judges. You don't want them currying political favors with anybody. So 8 years and no going back. The question that I have beyond that is, who appoints them? My goal is to have them appointed by the states. And so there's some complex ways to get that done, but which I don't really have time to go into right now. But that's the goal. Mark Levin's got some ideas on how to rein them in. Mark and I live 8 miles apart. I don't know exactly where he lives, but I can get you within half a mile. And he's in a bunker, I know. I see him at Home Depot and places like that. But we didn't really know each other face to face until after he wrote his book. The website conventionstates.com launched about 7 days before his book was released, which obviously means I was working on the website before I knew anything about his book. It also means he was writing his book well before he knew anything about our idea, because we learned about each other just before each of us launched. And we started talking to each other just before his book was launched and just before our website was launched. And so, in fact, we worded our application to take into account the scope of his book. And so Levin and I now are close friends and are working side by side, but we both view it as a divine coincidence because I wanted somebody to write a book and promote the idea. He wanted somebody to build an organization to go make it happen. And his book is far more effective than any book I could ever write. For #1 seller on the New York Times list for a month. I mean, and then fell to #2 for a month, and so on. I mean, he pushed the idea forward in about 3 years worth of work in the space of about 2 months. And so we are we're working together. We're able to get these things done, and together, all of us can get this word passed out. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Farris.